So let's try to figure out in which order we could maybe start creating our surfaces. And I think it's safe to start, for example, with the top surface for the bottleneck. And I'm going to create another layer. Maybe I call this one surface, and I click it because I'm going to create my surfaces right on that layer. Then I double click and open my bi-rail control panel. And let's talk a little bit about continuity for a moment. I'm going to turn on surface symmetry so that the surface I create on the left side is going to be mirrored over to the right side. Along the rails, I do not need any tangency, so I'm fine actually with the G0 position definition for continuity because I only want the surface to start and just stop sharp at those two profiles. However, along those two vertical generation lines, I would like that the surface that starts here grows over and stops here. The way how it stops, it should kind of like then be shaped in a way so that it looks like it is flowing smoothly into the mirrored surface that is on the other side, basically the one the symmetry function is going to create for us. So to do this, we can turn on implied tangent. The difference between implied tangent and G1 tangent is, technically speaking, the result visually will be the same, but implied tangent should be used when you actually work with the symmetry. So you only have actually really only half of a model and interactively kind of like display the missing half. And this one can be used when you really have two physical surfaces. So surfaces you can edit and change. And then you can use this one for it. So in our case, I'm going to select implied tangent. Then we can select our generation curves and then the rail curves. And let's see if everything is set correct. You see generation 1 implied tangent, generation 2 implied tangent. So everything is fine. We can leave it at that. And right now we don't really see the other surface. It's actually there. We just have to reset the axis for the mirroring. So with this layer selected, we can go to layer, symmetry, set plane, and you noticed I had my grid already snapped on, and then I can, for example, click on the green dotted arc that is for the rotation, and then you see that it snaps to the grid 90 degrees. Click set plane, and then you see the interactive missing other half of that arc. And now the implied tangent basically means that this surface, again, at those two edges will be created. So from this point, you cannot really see any hard edge, so it flows nicely into it. Okay, so that's how we, for example, created the upper part. Now let's take a look at the lower part, and you see that I have there quite a lot of different curves. And let me show you what the point behind those curves is and also how I created those. Those I'm going to hide for a moment, and then let me go into front view and turn on the sketch layer so you can see my sketch in the background.